I'll prove to you that I have art. I have an art Twitter. I don't post to it that much anymore, but I'd like to soon. My art Twitter. And that is my boysona for the art Twitter specifically. This is a lot more what I look like in real life. I modeled it specifically after how I currently look like. So, if you want a good idea of what I look like right now, this is pretty much all you're gonna get right now. So if you're interested in following, you know, hit it up, saltydkdan_art. Yeah, just try not to get too memey here because, like, you know, obvious reasons. It's just an art account. It's not really shitposty. It's shitposty sometimes, but not too often. Also, here's some good example. So this is a sketch of Garatina for the Friendlock that Gabby did, and Gabby was unavailable for commission, so I just asked him permission if I could, like, finalize the art for him and use it for the video. And this is my finalized version of it. All of the outlines and colors and shading, that was me. I'm so proud of the way that this came out. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel like I actually, like, did a really good job of emulating the shading of the official art. I was really proud of this. Genuinely. I kind of want to, like, team up with Gabby to make more stuff like this, because Gabby does a lot of really good sketches. I would love to just, like, outline them and color them. Oh, this is the thing I made for the Eddsworld Twitter. Yeah, I did, like, a little small collab with Eddsworld a little while ago. I don't know if you many of you guys know that. But for Christmas, they were doing, like, an Eddsworld art calendar, and they asked me to be a part of it. I made this art very last minute. You and Gabby are some of my favorite artists, TBH. I don't know why I would be your favorite artist. I'm not, like, super good at art. I'm just good at, like, cuter characters, I guess. Now I'm just scrolling through my own art. Sometimes on this art account, I'll post other people's art, like, from, like, thumbnails and stuff. Like, if you ever see thumbnails and there's, like, high quality art in it, I usually post, like, isolated PNGs of it on the Twitter. So, like, raw art assets. Oh shit, I gotta actually go back. I want to go back and finish drawing more OCs. I forgot I sketched these guys up. I sketched these guys up for my OC lineup, and I never finished it. Oh, and this was the full disturbed salty art from the Metopia thumbnail and the Smasher Pass thumbnail. Some, like, cool sketches of characters. Yeah, this was the character lineup that I was working on. This is a part of a project that I want to make one day. I think it would be pretty cool. But for right now, I'm just YouTubing. In a perfect world, I'd be able to make this project on YouTube. And I'd be able to make it specifically for YouTube. I just realized you can't see one of the guys because they're cut off. I'm gonna see if I can fix that. There we go. I'm just gonna expand the window all the way, who cares? In a perfect world, I'd be able to make this for YouTube. And who knows, maybe someday something like that will happen. Maybe like a couple of animated shorts. I think it would be fun. Definitely have the... I think I might be able to secure a budget for that. I just need to get a team. This is my boy Lori. I love Lori. If you're a longtime viewer, you know Lori. I love him so much. He's just a little freak. Oh, and this was the Clang sprite that I made. I made this sprite for the Pokemon playthrough, the Friendlock playthrough, because Clang didn't have an overworld sprite, but I wanted Nin to have like an overworld sprite for like one of the scenes, so I had to make it myself. I think I did a pretty good job. I'm not a sprite artist by any means. Like, this was very much a botched job, but I just tried to make it in the style of like the other Pokemon overworld sprites. Genuinely, I'm not shitting you. If you make any art of my OCs, I'll die. I love seeing that. Like LS Mark and his pilot. Yeah, I know. I actually kind of want to talk about I want to talk to Mark about the production of his pilot, because I'm genuinely interested. I wonder how he put that together. Also, I did this is my Friday night funkin' mod pitch, okay? It's just an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast. It's just an entire episode, but boyfriend is there and he just does boops and beeps, and that's like the whole gag. It's not even like a song. It's just him doing boops and beeps, and you have to like match it on the keyboard. It's just like a podcast. In a perfect world, it would be like an hour long, like a normal podcast length. And there's the Friendlock Rip art, and this is the Garfeldi art that I made. This is my version of Garfeldi that I like kind of modeled after this. I traced some of the line art, but I had to make a couple of liberties because the art's a little bit too blurry. I just wanted to have a higher res version of Garfeldi, and this is the best that I could do. This art has gotten stolen so many times. I don't mind it all that much. But like, just flat out, like, not even, no one even asked if they could use it. They were just like, no, we're taking it. Again, I don't really mind all that much. It's not like an OC or anything, but just pretty funny. Oh shit. Sorry, this is becoming like a me looking at art stream. I should just do a stream where I look at like old art. I think that would be fun. These are a bunch of my OCs. Yeah, these are all original characters that I have yet to do anything with. Some of these you saw on the character sheet that we were at earlier. I might even, you know what I might even do? I might cut this segment out of the VOD upload, and I might upload it as its own video, because it's kind of like getting in the way. So yeah, let me see if I can remember the names of all these guys. Okay, so we got Lori in the middle with Trax. I did not realize I made an updated design for this guy. I forget what his name is. It's like a Gary Oak, like blue type. BD. I love BD. Literally acronym BD, business dog. I think this guy's name, this robot is like named Kralnog or something. I don't think I gave this bear any name. I just think his name is Bear. I don't know what this guy's name was. This is Ben. I don't know what her name is. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what these guys... I don't think I gave these guys a name at all. I don't think I gave this spider bartender any sort of name, but I really like him. Who's a little South Park bunny. I didn't give him a name either. I will say, like, the sweater does kind of look like South Park-esque. But he wasn't inspired by that. I forget what he was inspired by. Oh, yeah, this like, Link lookalike, this is Chain. I remember I named him Chain because, like, Chain Link Fence. And Chain has to save the princess named Fencia. So, like, Chain, Fencia, Chain, Link, Fence. I thought it was funny. It was very stupid. It was a very bad gag. But I thought it was funny. So, I love puns like that. This is Darna. I also love Darna. She's awesome. I don't know what her name was, but she was a boxer. I don't know what this bird guy's name was. I don't remember. I know this guy is Caspin. He's kind of like super off model. These are some like earlier sketches. These are definitely some earlier sketches. They're more reminiscent of like the current designs, but they're still early. Oh, here we go. This is the good shit. So this is Lori, Trax, Ben, and Darna. Darna got all the cool poses because she's like a cool, like, kind of like biker person. Like, she was cool. I also really like these sketches. I remember drawing this this at like the kitchen table one night. I really like how Business Dog looks in a lot of these sketches. Like, this is the most on model that I've ever been able to draw. Like, from my head, this is exactly what she's supposed to look like. I may have adjusted it later on, but like, this is pretty on, spot on. Also, like, this creepy old lady that, yeah, exists. Also, an unfinished sketch down here. I don't even remember drawing this one. Oh, and these guys don't have names, but they're like generic furry characters. Your art reminds me of 1930s cartoons, which is some of my favorite stuff to look at and study. You're incredible with expressions and posing. I just love your stuff so much, dude. Thank you so much. I'm really happy that you've drawn that comparison, because a lot of my stuff was like inspired by like rubber hose cartoons, and like kind of a mix of like modern cartoons with like some rubber hose stuff and like some Popeye. I grew up with Popeye a lot. I definitely watch a Salty to Get In produced cartoon. Maybe one day. Maybe. Who knows? No promises. I could die with it incomplete. Who cares? I do, low-key. I'm just trying to play it off. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. These guys don't have names. This guy was kind of like, I know this guy was kind of like a sleazebag. And this guy was just like a generic biker thug, but he was like a shark man. I think he's supposed to have a fin in the back too, but I also combined like a fin with his head because I thought it looked cool. Hey Salty, I'm the one who drew you as Quaxley. You and Quaxley. Anyways, hope you have a good night. Oh, bye, Peach Scraps. Oh, this is my first drawing of Rouge the Bat. I'm not a fan of this. I don't know. I don't like it. I liked it much more as the sketch, but like the line art is just sloppy. I'm not a big fan. Also, I just completely fucked up her shoes. I don't know if you can see that. Her shoes are just kind of bleh. You're so cool, Salty. Want to be good like you someday. I'm not good. I'm mid. And that's okay. I like the fact that I can still improve. Yeah, wait, chat, you're right. I should have made Rouge's boobs huge. Humongous. Also, this is a part of a comic I was working on. It's still incomplete, but I do want to finish it one day. Sometimes I'll open back up the comic, I'll do a couple of panels, and then I'll just quit and go back to making videos. I was a really big fan of the style. Some of the styles of this, like the little like sheen in the reflection here, and like the way that this graphic looks, I was really proud of. This is also a really good on-model Business Dog. Gotta go, Salty. Getting sleepy. Have a good night, homies. Bye, Jared the Alpaca King. Salty, your art is fun. I love the way you do line art. It's very curvy and clean. Okay, so here's my secret, right? My line art is actually not clean at all. If you zoom in, I don't know if I can do it on here, but if you zoom in, it's actually not that clean. See, like there's some like wobbliness to it. What I usually do is I'll make a very sketchy line art, and then I'll go back with the eraser and I'll smooth it out a little bit. And the wobbliness is like so faint that you can't even see it. Genuinely, I have very shaky hands when I draw sometimes. So, especially on a tablet, it comes out very shaky. What program do you use? This is gonna sound whack. Holy shit, wait. Hold up, my toilet's making a ringing noise. I gotta flush it. My pipes are all messed up. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so this is gonna sound whack. For sketching, I usually use Fire Alpaca, which is a free software. It's a free software that anybody can get. I believe it's a Japanese software. It has built-in animation features. It's free again, and I think it's very clean. It doesn't have a whole lot of options, but I think it's really good for sketching stuff, and doing like basic like image edits. And then for my line art, I usually do it in Photoshop, which a lot of people are like, "Are you a psychopath?" And yes, I am. I don't know, I like the way the brushes feel in Photoshop. I've been meaning to sit down and like finally learn Clip Studio Paint, but you know, like the YouTube channel has kind of been my main job, and I don't get that much time to myself outside of making stuff for YouTube, so I haven't gotten to sit down and like really do it. And any times that I do get to do it, I'm kind of in the mood to more play some video games than I am to like draw. So yeah. Also, I was experimenting with color palettes for like, I was doing the comic in grayscale, but I was like, maybe I could like add like a blue hint to it. That could look pretty cool. Salty, how do I stop procrastination? Because I want to be productive, but I'm just compelled to do stupid shit like binge stuff. How do you combat procrastination? Please, I'm actively procrastinating right now. That's a really good question. I struggle with procrastination too. Like genuinely, I'm writing a script right now, and it's really hard for me to like sit down and focus on it. Something that I like to do, and this might not work for everybody, but something that I enjoy doing is if I ever feel myself procrastinating or like my attention not all there, I'll usually move myself somewhere else. For example, today, for the past week, I've been trying to write this script at my desk that I normally work at, and I kept procrastinating. But today, I was actually out and about, and I brought my phone with me, and I started scripting on my phone instead of on my computer at my normal desk. And scripting on my phone in my car in a faraway location from what I'm normally used to was actually kind of refreshing. I isolated myself to another distinct location, and I procrastinated a little bit less. I think sometimes a change of scenery is good. I think I really like the gray, but the blue looks a ton better. I think so too. It has a really cool hint to it. Sorry. One sec, gotta get some water. So my first tip on procrastination is try a change of scenery. Second tip, go out for a walk. If you can in your area, something I really like to do is go out for like a 30-minute walk. I live in an apartment complex right now, and what I do is I go outside and I loop around a couple of times, and it's just nice to get fresh air whenever you can. For me, if I want to write, I listen to music. Oh, I used to try to listen to music while I worked, but it actually was kind of harder for me to. Unless if the music has no words, then I can do it while I work. But if the music has words and I'm trying to write a script or something, or an essay, it's hard for me to focus. So that's another thing too. If you're gonna listen to music, make sure it doesn't have lyrics. Also, set small goals. If you write for 20 minutes, that's great. Maybe take like 5 minutes, a 5-minute break, set a timer, then go back into it. Another 20 minutes. You know? Set tiny goals. And then, you know, maybe try to like make them bigger and bigger if you think you can do it. Music effectiveness can definitely vary from person to person. I also agree it has to have no lyrics. I totally agree. Some people can do it with lyrics. Some people are psychopaths that can watch entire shows while they work and do competent work. I don't know how people do that. My brain doesn't work like that, sadly. I wish it did. I wish I could binge watch Breaking Bad while editing like the next YouTube video, but I can't. Oh, I really like this art. The Pepsi can is kind of shitty, especially like the concave bottom, but I just like the way that I drew this. There's something about like the texture to it that I really liked. I should probably get rid of the fan art text because we're not looking at fan art anymore. We're just looking at my art. And then some friendlock stuff I'll scroll past just because of spoilers. If anybody hasn't seen it yet. Came out like a year ago, but you know, who knows? I will say I love the way that Gabby's art turned out for this. This isn't my art, this is Gabby's art, but like I said again, sometimes I'll post stuff that other people have made for the channel specifically. Salty, your art is some that I always enjoy looking at, and your characters are always awesome design-wise. Your artwork is a part of inspiration for my own style and art overall at the moment even. But something I still kind of cringe thinking about, how one of the first fan arts I've ever done for you is forever left in one of your videos. I have to do an updated version of it one day. Yo, Lucky Hit, what art was that? What video was it? Do you know? Now I'm curious. Like, I need to know. Oh, and we got some awesome assets made by Al. So interesting little tidbit. Al started making these assets before the series was done, so you can see Jay actually had an evolved form artwork done for the evolved form before Jay evolved. Jay never ended up evolving, so yeah. Interesting little tidbit. Oh, cool! More sketches. I really like how the sketch of tracks turned out. Like, it doesn't even look like a sketch in a lot of areas. Like, it just looks like normal art. Now this lorry is sketchy as fuck. But that's fine. Sketches don't have to be clean. They could be way messier than this. And then I was freaking out because I literally forgot how to draw Caspin properly, like he presents in my head. A lot of these are just off model. Oh, and this was an OC character that Mal had made. Because Mal, I don't know if you know this, but Mal is obsessed with this Caspin character that I made. That Caspin's kind of like very like hardcore inspired by like old Popeye. And Mal is like obsessed with him. So Mal made her own character that I draw sometimes that is like that she ships with Caspin. I think it's fun. I think she's very cute. I forget what her name is. But she has her own like little OC backstory. It's very cool. If you had infinite money and team members, would you want Paraweird to be a comic, a cartoon, or something else? Oh yeah, I should probably have said that. I don't think I ever said the name of it. But yeah, these characters I'm showing you are from like one idea I have called Paraweird. If you had infinite time, money, team members, would you want Paraweird to be a comic, cartoon, or something else? Low key, if I'm being honest, I kind of want it to be everything. I know that that's a tall order. I would like for some comics of it, and like mostly animation. I think if I could pick only one, it would probably be animation, but in a perfect world I would really like some like comic tie-ins. That would be really cool. And something that I really wanted was that I wanted everything to be canon. Like, you know when you're a kid and there would be like licensed video game tie-ins to like your favorite shows, and those licensed video game tie-ins would have like entirely new stories and would like try to add to the lore of the show, but the show would like never reference it ever. I wanted to like do the opposite. I wanted everything to be so canon that like I wanted there to be jokes that don't make sense to people. Like, just they could just offhandedly reference something that happened off screen, and whatever happened off screen is just covered in the comic or something. I thought that would be funny. Again, don't think it'll ever happen in that way, but you know, still. The fan art is the Goemon PD1161 pen display review vid. It's not very good looking back on it, but it's nice to see improvement looking at my past work. I'm going to look at what that art is right now. If you don't want me to put it up on stream, I won't. But I want to see it. Where is that video? Found it. Okay, let's take a look. Oh yeah, it's a cute little sketch. It's a cute little sketch. definitely it's always good to like see improvement. If you look back on your art and cringe, that's a good thing. It means that you've improved. That's true with anything. Like I go back to my older videos and genuinely it's like night and day for me. If I go back to my old videos, my old videos, I'm like, oh my god, this is so unfunny and shittily edited. And the reason I can say that is because I've made some funny videos that I really like. And some high quality edited videos. Oh, these are some storyboards from a thing I never released. This is a Para Weird thing. I'm really happy with this face. Even still, the art's kind of like bleh today, but this face... Genuinely, I don't know what I did, but this is one of my favorite faces. So good. I need to like recreate this. And what's great about it too is that it's on like a smaller proportion body. It's just like it's like kind of chibi looking. Awesome. Oh, and this is a poster I never inked. I was gonna make this into like a big grand poster, but I just wasn't feeling it. I do really like the way that I drew her hands in this. If there's something I can say with utmost confidence, sometimes I draw hands really well. I don't know why. Hands used to be so hard for me. Is Caspin pogging? He's probably pogging it in this art. Yeah, he is pogging in this art. I didn't even draw attention to that. Caspin pog. And more sketches. Oh, and this was storyboards from a thing I posted on the Salty's video dump channel. This is a project that I did for fun for one of my college classes. Something I really liked about it is that while most of the project is like storyboards, this scene in particular that these screenshots are of, the characters are digital, but the background is like pencil and paper. I kind of want to do something with that sort of style again, where it's like mixed media. I think it would be pretty cool to like have like maybe even like sketchy like digital characters over like pencil and paper drawings. Also, that right here, if you see this, the toy that's right here, I actually reused the asset for, if I can find it again, I reused the asset for this poster on the comic. Something I like to do is I like to reuse certain assets because I feel like it can be fun and also very useful. So, pretty cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of mixed media stuff. So I definitely maybe want to do something like that. Oh yeah, I was actually really happy about this. These two characters, Trax and Lori, have undergone some of the most design/style changes out of any other characters I've created. The pictures attached here showcase that change, as well as how my art has changed over the past few years. The bottom right is the most recent. So this was one of my, this was my first digital drawing of these characters. As you can see, it's whack. It is so whack. It's okay, but it's whack. Not judging anybody who draws like this, but it's whack. And then I kind of fixed them up a little bit, and I went through a short phase where I was shading stuff like this. And don't get me wrong, the shading on this is actually like kind of fire. Just the line art is shit. The colors and shading, like I definitely want to experiment with this shading style again, but with my newer line art, I think it would make some like fire pictures. And then this was like even more updated. In retrospect, I'm not really super happy with how the faces of the characters look in these. They're just, I don't know, they're like weirdly uncanny for me. And then these are the final designs. These are the most like on model, and I think I nailed the line art on these specifically too. Looks like the Mario and Luigi games. Yeah, no, this shading style is directly lifted from the Mario and Luigi games. Because I was like, oh, that's a cool style. I'm gonna try to replicate that. I used some custom brushes that an artist that I really liked had made for Photoshop, and I was like kind of experimenting with them. This feels more on brand. Yeah, this feels the most on brand, especially for my current art style. Also, it just looks way better. Oh, this was like a poster type styled thing. This, I think, is even more on model than the other one. I actually really like how this came out. I would love this on like a card or something, or like a poster at some point. Oh, and this was a cool project. A while ago, Ian Jones Cordy, his show OKKO and Steven Universe, they came out with like a combo pack of 2 of the video games, and he posted this rough sketch of a potential cover art that they never used for the cover. And just for fun, I just outlined and colored it because I thought it would be like a fun little like project for me. I think I did pretty good. I will say the shading is a little bit weird with like the shadows and stuff. I probably should have just done flat colors, but hey, it doesn't look half bad. Oh yeah, and this is for anybody who's subbed to the channel, I think you have access to this. Yeah, you do. This is the origin of my Fat Albert emote on Twitch. So a while ago, and you can probably find my original tweet about it, somebody like posted on Twitter that was like somebody selling just like a floating head of Fat Albert on an animation cell on eBay. Somebody was just selling this floating head of Fat Albert on eBay, and immediately when I saw people posting about it, I was like, has anybody bought that yet? I looked it up. Nobody had bought it, so I bought it. I bought it, and then I scanned it. I scanned it on my scanner, and then I up-resed it so that it looks super clear. Like, look how high quality this is. Yeah, and this is also available as an emote on my Twitch channel. Very cursed. Oh, this one was a really cool project. Sorry I'm going through my art right now. I'm just having a good time looking back. I have more art that I've never posted, so maybe I'll do a stream one day looking at that if people are interested. C3po Art created for the C3po Sith Lord video. This style was very much inspired by Genndy Tartakovsky's limited run Clone Wars series, which is on Disney Plus if you want to check it out. So if you've ever seen the Clone Wars Genndy Tartakovsky series, this is art that I did for the thumbnail. This is custom art. You can kind of tell mostly it looks good, but then you get to the hands, and the hands I just sort of gave up. I was like, I don't know how these hands are supposed to look, and I'm working on a deadline to get this video out, so I just rushed the hands because I figured like if this looks this good, then the hands will look fine. Who cares? Nobody's looking at the hands. So yeah, that's what this was, and I was actually really happy with the shading on this because I tried to emulate the shading of the Genndy Tartakovsky series as much as I could. If you're interested in watching, the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series was originally created as a Cartoon Network tie-in 2D animated series. This was before the 3D animated series that would come later. Genndy Tartakovsky's Clone Wars was 2D animated. It has an amazing art style and animation, and you can find it like all on Disney Plus. It's a really quick watch. I think it's like maybe 2 or 3 hours in total. It's super worth it. They did a super cut of like all of them. And also, it is not canon to Star Wars anymore. It used to be canon, but when the 3D Clone Wars series came out, it kind of decanonized a lot of it. So it's not canon anymore. So don't have to worry about knowing any canon stuff for it. All you gotta know is about like Revenge of the Sith, or the episode 3 movie. I forget what it's called. I think it's Revenge of the Sith. Also, the red eyes were inspired by the scene from Rise of Skywalker when he had red eyes. Anybody remember that from the trailers? When Rise of Skywalker is first coming out, C3PO was shown with red eyes. And everybody was like memeing like, oh my god, C3PO turns Sith, turns evil. And that was kind of right. Like C3PO, to read Sith language, they had to like break one of his like commands in his body so he could read like evil Sith language. Why do the Sith have an ancient language? I have no idea, but you know, that was the thing. And I was like, that is a really cool addition. So I just gave him red eyes because in the video I make C3PO into a Sith Lord. If you've never seen that video. Also, it's one of my favorite Star Wars related videos that I've ever done, or Star Wars related streams. Oh yeah, this was so the VTuber model that I sometimes use for videos and streams. It's rare, but I use it occasionally. I also kind of want to make a new one. So the model, the parts of the model that you see here, these were all drawn by me, but it was linked together and rigged by Squid the Ginger. So if you want to follow Squid, he's super cool. Really appreciated him helping me out with this. That's at Squid the Ginger. Or I should say Lance, because that's his fucking name. But this was a sketch page where I just drew a bunch of expressions. Obviously, the VTuber didn't turn out that way. The VTuber is kind of limited in design, but you know, that's okay. You can only do so much, especially when like I didn't know any people who were good at rigging or making VTuber models, but I still wanted it to be in my style. So we just worked with what we had. But yeah, originally it was supposed to have a couple of different expressions. But you know, didn't know how VTubers worked, so I was just kind of putting some designs together. Maybe one day I'll update the VTuber model so it's a bit more expressive. That, or like completely overhaul the art style and like just go full on VTuber. Oh, and here we go into the cringe stuff, but I still want to do this low-key. So this is my guys, this is my Friday Night Funkin' OC. Back when Friday Night Funkin' mods were really popping off, they still are, but back when they first started popping off, I was like, dang, I really enjoy playing these mods. I kind of want to make my own mod character. So I made like a Friday Night Funkin' mod concept character. I forget what I ended up naming this. I tried to name it something, but I think I accidentally named it something that was like a name for a fetish on accident. So then I was just like, nope, they're untitled now. But yeah, her whole concept is that she's in like a sleeping bag, and it just happens to look kind of like a snake. As you can see, like the little, like she like broke her arm through the sleeping bag specifically to hold the microphone. What was the name? I don't remember what the name was. I don't remember. Somebody told me on Twitter like, oh yeah, that's the name of like a fetish or something. I was like, oh, fuck. But yeah, so I was really happy with this. The way it was gonna work was that her tail, whatever arrow she was hitting, her tail would point in that direction. That's why it looks kind of like an arrow, because I thought that'd be cool. And the basic plot of what the mod story would have been would probably be like, and this, you know, might be changed. If I ever do this, it might be changed later. But the basic draft was like, Untitled character is upset because girlfriend doesn't like go hang out on sleepovers anymore, and sleepovers are like her whole fucking personality, And then she gets mad at boyfriend, so she's like, oh, let's rap battle or something. You know, something like that. I thought it'd be cute. And it would have like a sleepover theme, and maybe like boyfriend would be like in his pajamas, and like girlfriend would be in her pajamas. Something like that, something cute. And maybe like some of the, she would have like mumble rap, so like maybe she'll be like whispery as like her vocals. I think that'd be cool. Baggy looking fresh. I think Baggy's actually probably pretty good name. These are some sticky note storyboards that I just made because I thought I had this interaction in my head and I thought it would be funny. There's really no meaning behind this. I just wanted to draw a goofy expression, and I did it. And it gave me an excuse to have this ending panel really weird looking. Whatever you think they're saying, they probably are. That's up for you to decide. Oh yeah, these are my banner and assets. So, fun fact about the Salty logo, it was made by the same guy who works on the logos for Scott the Woz. I don't know if I've ever publicly talked about it. Let me see if I can find his @. It's in my about page. Oh, @What Up Nico. Yeah, Nico Vliek. Nico Vliek. Somebody said same pattern. I specifically, the pattern isn't inspired by Scott the Woz. It's the logo. The logo, nothing's inspired by Scott the Woz. It's just the logo was worked on. The logo and the background technically was worked on by Nico. I commissioned him for it. I kind of wanted to, this was around the time when I wanted to like rebrand a little bit. I'm really happy with it. I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. And the background that I use for all my videos now, this background, was inspired by like bowling alleys and old arcades. I specifically told him, I was like, yeah, like bowling alleys and old arcades. Oh, and the logo, I just remembered, it's actually inspired by Flipnote. I think I brought that up earlier, but Flipnote Hatina. Flipnote Studio logo. Yeah, check this out. You'll probably see what I mean when I bring it up. So this is the Flipnote Studio logo. Oh, what shit? F11. So this is the Flipnote Studio logo, and then this is my logo. You see how like it's kind of like a similar style. Flipnote used to be my life. Let's fucking go. Yeah, it used to be my life too. That's where I started making content for the first time. It was Flipnote. And I posted on Flipnote Studio. I don't know. I think I showed off my Flipnotes for a stream, but I don't think I ever archived it. Maybe I'll go back and I'll archive some Flipnotes on the side channel one day. I think that'd be very fun. I just heard my door close and I live alone, so that was terrifying. Also, this, I don't use this for the YouTube channel. I used to use it for my Twitter, but I had this concept for putting my channel logo on a dumpster fire, and this was the dumpster fire that I made. I kind of want to update this a little bit, but I still love the style of this. I would love to see this on like a shirt or a poster maybe. But the idea of like branding myself with the dumpster fire I thought was very funny. Also, sorry if I sound congested. It's because I am. Oh, this is a thread of old post-it note art. I love this. Okay, this was I drew this because of Jack Stauber's Opal. If you've ever seen it before, if you're a fan of Jack Stauber's stuff, check it out. It's a claymation, like 10-minute like claymation short film, and it's terrifying in all the right ways, and it has great music. This is a remake. Okay, people have been asking me about this. Salty DK Dan. That is my username. People have always asked me, if your name isn't Dan, then what is the Dan? What does Dan mean? When I was younger, I made a character called Dan. He was my first original character. And he used to just be an eyeball with arms and legs. It literally looked like this. I'm gonna draw him for you right now, like really, really quick. I can do it in like 2 seconds. Okay. Let's open window capture. Okay, so literally, I'm not joking here when I say this. This is what he looked like. This was like the eye in the middle. Wait. This is what he looked like. And he would have like, he'd be white. I made him in like elementary school. Originally, he was supposed to be a white blood cell. Because around the time that I made him, I was learning about germs and like blood cells and white blood cells. And I was like, it would be cool if there was like me with my like 8-year-old brain. I was like, it would be cool if I could make a comic about like microscopic organisms. So originally his name was Micro Man. His original name was Micro Man. And then after a while, I was like, well, that's not really a name, that's a title. So I scrapped it, and then I started calling him Dan. And then eventually, I just completely forego the concept of him being a white blood cell, and I just don't even care. Like, all of the stories that he was in had nothing to do with him being a white blood cell. It was just him getting into antics. If I ever find the book of all of my, like, I had a book of comics with this character. A lot of it is sadly lost now. It got lost in my move a while ago to what was my old house. I do have these comics somewhere. I will try to find, if I ever do find them, I'll make a video with them or a stream where we can look through them. But what I do have, and I need to find it again, I think it's somewhere in my apartment currently. I have several pages worth of a Micro Man book. It was a novelization of a very large grand story. Similar to, the closest thing I could say it was similar to was, what's it called? The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. It was a road trip movie. It was a road trip story, I believe. Micro Man meets some interesting new characters and goes on a grand adventure to stop the apocalypse. It was very cringy. And I think I think that story was 8 pages, which for me was like an entire fucking novel when I was a kid. Micro Man meets sperm cell. Don't ruin this. I knew it was coming. Don't ruin this. Better lore than FNAF. Yeah, the Dan lore runs deep. And what was cool about it too is I would draw comics with this character and I would photocopy them and then pass them around my class. I'd pass them over to other students and be like, hey, free comic. And they'd always accept it because it was a free comic, even though it was crap. But, you know, funnily enough, although my art stunk, people really liked my humor. So other elementary schoolers, I was like probably what, like 2nd grade? Other 2nd graders were like, Derek, this is actually like really funny. Can you make more? And I was like, yeah, I can make more. Yeah, of course. So I made them weekly. I made a page of comics, like little 4-strip, 2-strip comics every week. And I even put little word searches on the back of the page for everybody to do. Just for fun. So that was that. And yeah, so that's Dan. And going back to my art, I'd love to talk more about Dan, but I feel like I've explained enough already. This art was my attempt to kind of update his design a little bit. If I was to like design him now, he's no longer a white blood cell. He's just a guy with an eye for a head. And he just has like spiky hair because I was like, he's got to have something. So I thought that this would be cool. I never ended up doing anything with this. This was just for fun. I didn't plan on doing anything with it. Just thought it was cool. Oh, these two characters. I don't remember what the names of these two characters were, but I do remember what they were for. A while ago, me and my partner Jess were throwing around the idea of like, hey, what if we wrote like a kid's book together? And she would handle the writing and I would handle like some of the art. And originally these two space people were going to be characters in that book. I haven't fully scrapped the idea. I kind of really like it. I would just need somebody like Jess who is good with like children's media to kind of come up with like a solid plot for it. If you see like this here with like the square, that's because this is an eye patch. She's missing one eye. I know that they both had like very specific aspects to their character. I think she had some sort of skin disease, and I believe she had autism. And it was going to be like maybe a book about that because we knew people that had that, so we were like, they should be represented as much as anybody else. Yes, autism, me too, bitch, LOL. But of course, like we weren't just gonna like write about those things without, you know, having them. We were gonna like, you know, talk to people that had them and like properly represent them. It wasn't gonna be like, yeah, we know what we're talking about. But yeah. And this is more Lori. I really like how I drew the hand here. Holy crap. Also, yeah, I really love the thick lines. The thick outer lines and the thin inner lines are like, chef's kiss. You don't see many autistic characters in media. No, Sheldon doesn't count. Yeah, Sheldon does not count. Oh, this is the pencil that I was using. I thought it would be artsy if I put the pencil in the picture, and it is. Very cool. I really like these space people characters, like little astronauts going on adventures, learning new things. And here's some more. This is Lori being cool. This is cool, Lori. The hood looks like shit. Honestly, the whole jacket looks like shit. I wish I could redraw. I might go back and just resketch this entirely again. Oh, this is the skeleton character. I named Skella because I thought it was funny. Skella, like Stella, like haha. I don't think I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this character. I have some ideas, but like I don't know. I think she just might stay as like an unrelated OC. But I still really love her design. Wish I could come up with a good idea for it. I love not thinking. This is based off of a meme that I saw of like an anime girl saying that. This should have been the stream rather than the Back to the Barnyard game. No, man, we gotta play some cringe. We gotta play some cringe and then look at art. This reminds me of Cool Tales from the Fleetway comics. Yeah, oh my god, you're right. Where he has like the leather jacket. Oh my god. I've said it before, but I've been dying. One day, I've been dying to like make a video about Sonic comics. Or maybe like a series about it. Because there's so many of them and they're so whack. Especially the Archie ones. There's so much content. Honestly, I love drawing Lori. I also love drawing his hands when I was making the Lori and Trax fan animation. Yet, genuinely, I think... I don't know what the fuck I did when designing these characters, but I made some of their hands really fun to draw. I don't know, I think I just really like the lanky proportions with like the bigger palmed hands. But yeah, I really like Skella. I would love to do something with her one day, but, you know, we'll see. Maybe one day. Not necessarily a Paraweird thing. Not all of my OCs have to do with Paraweird, but, you know, some of them do. And this is a sketch I did of my boy one day. I wonder, do I have any photos? I have alternate outfits for Skella that I've sketched. I don't know if I posted it on my Salty Art Twitter. I probably did. There's like a more goth version of her outfit that I really like. Or like punk girl type stuff. This is a Hoot Hoot. It's kind of crap, but I like it. This is a really crappy Sonic. I sketched this up in like 4 minutes. Very crappy Sonic. I wish I could draw Sonic better. I just can't. This is like a sandworm thing that I had in my head that I wanted to draw. Kind of like Mario-esque, but not really. Oh, this one's interesting. So this is the beta design of Celebi. Back when the Space World demo of Pokemon Gold and Silver got leaked, there was like beta designs of Pokemon and beta Pokemon that never ended up being in the games. And one of them was this beta design of Celebi. Wonder if I can find the design. Found it. I'll show you what it looked like. So this was beta Celebi, not this. This one is what I drew it after. And I just really liked how it looked. I was like, this is kind of cool looking. Like, Celebi normally is, like, cool and all, but beta Celebi, I don't know, there's something about it. Oh, Cryptilly, thank you for subbing. Thanks for subbing with your Prime Gaming. But yeah, there's something about it that just, it really appealed to me, you know? Was that fucking Mr. Game & Watch Celebi? Yeah, I don't know what this is. This design was from 1998. It was like 1 year before the game released. But yeah, this Celebi was the one that I ended up drawing for this. So, official beta design, my version. Little bit different, but like, I tried to keep the spirit of it. I thought it was really cool. It looked like it was wearing like a nut on its head. Like a hollowed out like nut. I thought it was really cool. This, if you guys know this, you recognize it immediately. This is from an animation called What's the Matter, Martha? Oh my god, I forget the name of the guy who animates these. He's so talented. We follow each other on Twitter. Literally, if you just Google What's the Matter, Martha, you'll find the animation. He's an insanely good 3D animator. He just came out with a new animation that's like a banger. Kevin Temmer, yeah. Kevin Temmer, check out his stuff. This is Kevin Temmer. He makes like awesome 3D animation, like music type stuff. Like these little music videos. His recent one is like incredible. The amount of like moving characters on screen and like music, it's very cool. This is an older drawing of Lax and Tori. That's their like evil versions. Lax and Tori. Tori sounds like a normal name. Yeah, Lori. Also, I don't know if it needs to be mentioned, but Lori does use he, him, they, them pronouns, just like me. He actually used they, them pronouns before I figured out that I liked using they, them pronouns, so I thought that was pretty cool. It's a premonition. Oh, he a little fruity? Oh, he's not this. Well, I mean, you know, who knows? But yeah, he's just a young teenager who's trying to figure himself out. Or alternatively, they are a young teenager who's trying to figure themselves out. A fun fact about Lori and Trax, every sort of script that I've written for these characters, the way that I usually write them is that Lori is based on me when I was younger, and Trax is based on me currently. So Lori is the more optimistic and bright one, and Trax is the more like pessimistic and, you know, like darker one. Howdy, new here. I'm autistic, and I kind of hate Sheldon. Was compared to him a lot in high school. Also, kind of want to see your Garfield fan art. You could kind of want to see you do Garfield fan art. You can 100% pull that off. Funny that you mentioned that. I don't want to get too off track, but Lori has been compared to Garfield a lot. Specifically, the Garfield character of John from Garfield. Like, Garfield's owner, John. He wasn't compared to Garfield. He was compared to John Arbuckle a lot. Like, every time I post a sketch of him, it's just like, oh, is that John Arbuckle? Like, shut up. I know. I know. I know you started using they, them recently. Would you prefer we use he, him, or they, them if we had to choose one? What's the preference? I don't have a preference. You can use either. If you only want to use he, him, I won't mind. If you only want to use they, them, I also won't mind. I don't have a preference. I'm open to both. I'm just not open to she, her. Because I don't identify like that. But I appreciate you asking. That's very nice. Lori looks like if John had a personality. Didn't you make John related to Lori Cannon though? I did. As a joke. I don't know if it's on the art account, but I drew a picture of Lori holding a framed photo of John Arbuckle, confirming that in my headcanon they are related. So if my OC is directly deconfirmed by the creator of Garfield, then it's not canon. But if he doesn't say anything about it, then it is canon until made not canon. Oh, and this is Berserker from Sword and Shield Pokemon. I like this, how this one came out too. Let's see, how much should we have left? Probably not that much. So this is me smoking cigarette. This was a drawing that I did for the smoking video for gaming. Like, can you stop smoking through the power of gaming? The video was called, probably. And this is the H. I drew this H for the Pokemon H video. It's based off of the dancing H gif. A lot of people for some reason think that I'm the originator of like the H meme. That is not true. I just partook in it. Oh, fun fact about this one. So there's a small animated segment in, well, yeah, I would say animated. It's more of like an animatic, but it's still animation nonetheless. It's a form of animation. There is a form of animation from the, have you heard about how to sell your Garfield merchandise video? And I believe it was animated by a friend of mine, Bone, who is currently working on a pilot for a series that I'm voicing in, that I don't think I've officially announced, but yeah, I'm doing that. I don't even think that that's been officially announced at all. Oops. Nobody say that. But yeah, I'm voicing a character in it. Bone is insanely talented. Yeah. But yeah, Bone did a little bit of animatic work for me for this video. And fun fact about this video, well, this is the key art that I made of like the characters. I made some like black and white grayscale art of like the characters and how I wanted them to look for the animated part. I wonder if I can find the exact part of the video that this shows up. The actual animatic. Oh, here it is.
And Jen is just her like sitting at a table and they're like, Kathy, you can't keep collecting Garfield.
I can stop anytime I want, okay? I can stop!
Kathy, you said that last month. You now own 200 more Garfield keychains.
Kathy, you have a room dedicated to Pez dispensers.
Our entire bathroom is filled with Garfield bottle openers.
I do like the way
I really liked how that came out. I also think that the Kathy in that was voiced by Naomified VA. I could be wrong. I'm gonna check that. I distinctly remember, I think that was Naomified. Yeah, voice of Kathy. Yeah, it was Naomified. Yeah, Naomified. I haven't talked to her in forever. I should hit her up and see how she's doing. But yeah, fun fact about this art and about this video. Although you can find in the comments that the owners of like how to sell your garfieldmerch.com or whatever, although they said that they liked the video, they actually did not, and they really don't like me. Which, you know, fine, that's valid. But yeah, I don't harass them about it. They're totally in their own right to not like me. Why though? I mean, I kind of went in on Garfield collecting a bit. Yeah, so they really don't like me, which again, like, I am kind of sad about, but I also understand. Like, I did kind of like satirize, you know, the whole thing, and I made fun of them a little bit too hard, but you know, it was a learning experience for me. I was pretty new to doing Have You Heard About. I wasn't sure how hard to go in on stuff. Now I'm a little bit more reserved. I try to, like, especially in this video, I think by the end I said, like, yeah, they have a really good relationship. They obviously care about each other a lot, and it's really good to see her husband being so supportive of her Garfield collecting. That's like, I think that's really cool. But yeah, that's also a big problem with modern Have You Heard About, because I'm at the size where if I cover something like super niche, it gets a lot of notoriety, and sometimes like the people that I cover get like harassed. Like, for example, I think we're almost close to the end of the fan art anyway, I might as well talk about this. For example, Mike and Melissa, a part of me kind of regrets covering it in the way that I did. Not to say that I'm not proud of that Have You Heard About video, but I wish I was a little bit more softer about it. Like, yeah, it's cringe, but genuinely, that guy made an entire like pilot by himself. Even if it's not the best looking and kind of cringy writing wise, I didn't fucking do that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't do that. It's cringe, and why it's cringe, that's why I love it. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, Mike and Melissa is cringe, but it's not the same type of cringe that like stuff like the Chris Chan stuff is, right? Not to bring up Chris Chan into all of this, but like, you know what I mean? It's not like that the same type of cringe. It definitely feels like a kind of out of touch DeviantArt type of cringe, and I don't think that I should have went as hard into that as I did. It's cringe, but not bad cringe. Exactly. It's cringe, but not bad cringe. And that's also a big problem with modern Have You Heard About, because like when I made the Mike and Melissa Have You Heard About, I had under 100,000 subscribers. I was like barely anybody online. And when I posted that, I had no idea that it was gonna blow up as much as it did. Like, how many views does it have now? It has... Where is it? Oh, there. It has 1.6 million views. I made it 3 years ago. I had no idea that it was going to blow up that hard. And also, I've got word that it might have indirectly affected Mike. I'm sure that he doesn't care about it that much, but like, because of how much attention Mike and Melissa has received, I think he's, and it wasn't just from me. Like, I know Mike and Melissa got brought up by like Oni Plays, which is like way bigger than me. And there's like a small fan base around it. But I think that the amount of attention that it ended up receiving from so many different places in the internet has really made Mike more reclusive, which I regret, because I would kill to interview him and like ask him about the production and like get some honest like truth and like shed some light on it. genuinely, I think there's a group right now, and when I say this, like, obviously don't, if you know Mike's information, don't harass him. I don't think it's public, but don't. Oh, Score World, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate it. I think that there's a group that's trying to see if they can get some of, like, the lost Mike and Melissa media released. I think there was some work done on an episode 2 that never ended up being finished because the first one went, like, viral in a bad way. So I'm hoping that they can get that, like, whatever he has finished. I would love to see it. I would love to see storyboards and stuff. I would love to see lost media. That would be awesome. I would love to see that. And I guarantee I will not make a video on it if it gets released. I will not. Because I want that stuff to generally just be out there. And I don't... If you want to, like, poke fun at it, yeah, sure. But, like, do it in good faith. You know, don't be an asshole. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. But, you know, jumping from that, what I was saying was, that's a big problem now. Back then, when I made Have You Heard Abouts, I did not realize that they would blow up as much as they did. Nowadays, when I make a Have You Heard About, I'm like, I gotta be careful what I talk about because I don't want people to get harassed. Because I don't want to be like a Leafy is here type. I don't want to just make fun of cringy people and like be like, oh, but don't harass them. Ha ha ha. It's not my responsibility. And then they get harassed, you know? Like, I'll make fun of people, but I'll try to do it in good faith, especially nowadays. Yeah, there's just too many jerks on the internet that will ruin things for everyone. Genuinely, like, I do feel regretful that I went as hard into certain things that I did at the time. But I think that that's just a part of growth as a person, I think. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I didn't expect for Have You Heard About to blow up that much when I was that small. So nowadays, when I'm at the size that I'm at, I really got to make sure I don't talk about, like, certain things. Like, the whole purpose of Have You Heard About was to shed light on, like, really niche internet subjects. And now I can't really do it the same way that I've been doing because people will just harass people. And I wasn't a fan of that. So currently we're recording a Have You Heard About, and it's going to be the last sort of Have You Heard About that's in the style of the older videos. I'm kind of revamping Have You Heard About, or at least planning to for the future. It's going to kind of be like a half reactionary, half scripted series where it's going to have like some cool informational tidbits, but it's also going to be like us and the gang reacting to it and talking about it and like joking around. I think it's going to be a cool format. The closest that I can picture it is if you've ever seen like BuzzFeed Unsolved, it would be kind of formatted like that, where like they have the scripted segments and then like the two hosts would just joke around and like laugh and have fun. It'll be kind of set up like that. I think that that would probably be the best way to do some of this format wise from now on, because that way I can also make sure that like we're doing stuff in good faith and we're talking about stuff more genuinely. So like reaction documentary type. Yeah, totally. Like I want to do videos on some really cool subjects that might not even be based on the internet as much. Oh, like your video essay from Hey Andy, Sweetie? Yeah, exactly. So imagine a mix of like the way I wrote the Hey Andy, Sweetie video and the Mike and Melissa video, where we have like some good faith, like scripted bits talking about what it is, like what's cool about it, what's weird about it and funny, and then just reactions to it and joking around. Kind of like that. I can't wait for the new format for Have You Heard About? It sounds dope. I'm just letting you know, it probably won't happen for a while. The Have You Heard About that we've been currently recording has been cursed. We have tried to record it every week for the past 6 weeks. And every time we try to do it, it has to be delayed for some reason. We recorded the first 5 minutes. It was off to a pretty good start, and then it just we had to like split off for the night because stuff happened. Like I had like an emergency, so I had to like leave. That would be an amazing element to add to the current format. I think so, and recently, I talked about it on Twitter, I have hired some new freelance editors onto the Salty team. So now the Salty team has officially grown to around like 10 different people, all doing different things, whether that be like art or audio mastering or like visual content. And I realized that's a lot of people, and trust me, it is. Some people like have strict deadlines, some people don't because it's like a bigger project they're working on. But like 10 people working on the channel now, besides myself actively. So that makes me very happy. Hopefully that'll be for the better. Hopefully what I'm hoping that this will lead to, and I'm crossing my fingers on this because I hope that this can happen. I've talked about this before, but my goal, even though I'm a smaller channel, is to be able to put out 2 quality videos per week on like a pretty frequent basis. I don't know if I can do consistently 2 videos per week every single week, but that would be the goal. I would like that. Kind of like what I did a while ago when I came back from my last hiatus. I cannot emphasize how much your VODs slap. Haven't actually watched your streams in full since like Friendlock Season 2. Thank you. I'm glad that you're enjoying the VODs. I hope that you enjoy my chiller vibe. I know a lot of people have told me that they've been enjoying my a lot more like relaxed vibe, and I'm happy about that because I'm tired. 1 video a week would be a godsend anyway, though. Yeah, I think at the very least I would really like to do 1 video a week, but 2 videos a week not only would be good for viewers because you're getting more cool shit that you enjoy, which is what I'm all about, but 2 videos a week. Last time I did 2 videos a week, my channel got like a huge amount of traction and it got recommended like everywhere because I was uploading super frequently, like good videos back to back. And that's what I want. I crave that because I think that that could really push me past like even 500,000 subs at some point. That would be so cool. This chill vibe of stream is such an odd but very enjoyable feeling to leave on in the background. Hope to see it more then. Yeah, I want to do more chill stuff like this, especially like this. Like I want to have a mix of, you know, more like jokey haha streams and more laid back stuff like this where we can just talk. Your streams are really fun, especially when it gives more context beyond the edited videos. Yeah, I don't really get to shed a lot of light online about behind the scenes stuff, so I'm really happy when I do get to talk about it. I have a lot of bigger projects in the pipeline I don't want to talk about yet because they're not, like, I feel like if I talk about it I'm gonna jinx it and they're never gonna come out. I love hearing people talk about the stuff they're passionate about. It's so chill. I love it. Yeah, that's actually some of my favorite genres of videos online are people talking about trivia on a subject that they really love. That's why I like iceberg trivia videos online, because it's just somebody who likes a specific type of media and wants to talk about it. And like, that's awesome. I love that. That's why I made a whole like 24+ hour playlist of iceberg videos. I want to talk about My Singing Monsters. No. I barely know anything about My Singing Monsters. I don't care. I don't care. Poo poo pee pee. It's a very chill night. I appreciate tonight. I don't get to say that often, but I do. I don't know if you guys have this problem, but sometimes when it gets late at night, I go into this weird state of like being upset or being angry at myself for like nothing. That's why recently I've adopted the saying of do not trust yourself past 9 p.m. I think it's totally fine to take a step back sometimes. If you're feeling self-loathing at night, maybe it's time to hit the rack. Watch the bluey iceberg. It was interesting. There's a bluey iceberg? Oh man. I'd love to see that. What have you heard about topic where you're going to talk about before the Disrespectoids? If I'm being completely honest, I don't remember what we were originally going to talk about. I have a Google Doc of like subjects that I was scrolling through, and I think I picked one out. Actually, you know what it was? It was the Chuck E. Cheese one. It was the Have You Heard About that came out after it. The recent Have You Heard About Chuck E. Cheese training videos. That was what we were originally going to do that during that recording. It all comes full circle. Salty, this stream rocked. You talking about your art got me drawing for the first time in a while. Thanks. I keep telling myself to do, like, we should do a couple of art streams. I think that would be fun. Also, forgot to say it earlier, but this is my 11th stream in a row. My 11th daily stream in a row. We are still on the streak. Still in the streak. Also, I see Jay in the chat still. Hey, Jay. You watched a long time today, bud. I would love an art stream. I want to see you draw hands live. Oh man, I would love to talk about drawing hands. The way I draw hands is kind of like jank, but like it's fun. I haven't drawn in a while though, so I would be so underpracticed. Let me see, is there anything else left to say? We can take a look at the last piece of art. Yeah, these are the last two pieces of art. This is the first thing I drew on Procreate. This is still the only thing I've drawn on Procreate, I'll be honest. I don't really use Procreate. It's weird, because these days if I don't click with a software immediately, especially drawing software, I'll just not use it. That's why I use Fire Alpaca so much. It's a free software, and it's super easy to use. Like, once you get it, you get it. I'm such a moron. I need to sit down and really learn Clip Studio Paint. I gotta stop putting it off. Last time I used it, though, it was kind of jank on my computer, and I don't know why. I know it's hard, but if you want to learn a software, you gotta stick with it. That's something I need to learn. Even I struggle with that. I have what, like over 400,000 subscribers, and I constantly quit learning programs. The way I make videos could be so much faster if I just learned the right programs. And just sit down and I learned it. That being said though, I feel like my video output is pretty good. Not when I'm on hiatus, but you know. Currently, technically, I'm on hiatus. There is a video again that's going to come out before the end of the month. I'm just figuring out which of those videos it's going to be because there's several being worked on. And I got a sponsorship coming up and I gotta fulfill that quota. You know what I mean, fam? High five. Same, I have a big emotional attachment to certain programs. Yeah, the way that I edit videos sometimes is so jank. Like, genuinely jank. I have to learn about Clip in general now that I have it, but learning any studio in general drives me to madness. Yeah, I feel that. I've been trying to learn Blender in the past 4 months, and the learning curve is still pretty intimidating for me. Gotta think long term. Yeah, have you been doing the Blender donut tutorial? I know everybody suggests, like, do the donut tutorial when you're learning Blender. Like, go look up the donut tutorial where you make, like, a pink glazed donut or something. Like a pink frosted donut, I think. Yeah, I did that. Okay, that's cool. So you got, like, kind of a foundation going. That's great. I think that's really important. That's awesome. See, what you gotta do now is you gotta download the Mario 64 Blender mod that's been going around on Twitter. Have you ever seen that? Somebody made this insane widget for Blender that imports Mario from Mario 64 into your projects, but not as a model, as like a playable character in Blender. If you connect a controller, you can play as Mario in your Blender environments. It's insane. Mario 65 mod looks funny as hell. I still need to get it. Yeah, invest some time, figure out how that works. What the fuck? Yeah, no, literally, like, I'm gonna see if I can find it in another tab. Here, I'll see if I can pull it up. Okay, this isn't the original tweet. This is from Nokoi, who, yeah, this is the Nokoi I follow. This is Nokoi. They're a game dev, and this is what they did with Mario 64 in Blender. They put him in a ball pit. If you think this looks insane, trust me, it is. And yes, he controls just like he does in Mario 64. Isn't that insane? That is so cool. Fun fact, the reason why this is possible is somebody was finally able to reverse engineer the code for Mario 64. So we now have Mario 64's source code, and that's why everybody's been able to make a playable Mario and so many different mods for stuff, is because we have the exact like code for how to make a playable Mario 64 Mario. Ocarina of Time also got reverse engineered. I didn't know that. I haven't heard of that. See, now I'm really glad that I looked this up in another tab, because somebody modeled a naked character and has Mario 64 jumping around on the character. Really glad that I opened this up in another tab. Oh, this is really cool. Yeah, let's take a look at these cool Mario projects. This one is super cool. Look at this. I've been having too much fun with the Mario 64 Blender add-on. LibSM64. Camera's a little bit jank on this one, but it's, look at that. They modeled all of this in Blender and they could just run around it as Mario. Ain't that nuts? And there's something about like Gen 2 Pokemon music that just hits in just the right way. Okay. I can't show this for obvious reasons, but it seems to be a trend that people are editing Mario from Mario 64 into their Blender porn projects. Like, people are animating porn in Blender and then just importing a playable Mario into their pornography. It's oh, here is Mario exploring the back rooms. Excuse me, what? I think it's pretty funny. Seeing like a really well-made porn animation and just Mario walking through is really funny. Look, he can even wall jump on surfaces too that are solid. That is so crazy. I wonder if somebody's going to make like a custom. I wonder if there's going to be a community of people who work in Blender that just make like custom Mario levels in Blender that you can download. Let's see here. I want to find the original tweet, because in the original tweet that I saw this from, the way that they had it was that they had a fully rendered map with Mario in it, and Mario, you could see Mario's reflections on like metallic surfaces, and it was really cool. I want to see if I can find it. Sadly, I don't know where the original tweet was, but it was like very cool. It was like fully rendered reflections of Mario that were rendered like on the fly. It was crazy. It was like you just dropped Mario from Mario 64 in like a 4K game. Lib SM 64. Let me see if I can look it up and find it. Man, this stuff is crazy to me. Oh, here's a good example of it. It's not necessarily like, you can't really see the reflection all that well in this, but you can see like an example of like lighting and stuff like that rendered in real time. Like, that's so cool. Ain't that some shit? And some people, some game developers are like making levels in Blender and are testing them with Mario. Ain't that something? All right. I think that that's a good place to end it off. Don't have much else to say, I guess. But hey, if you watched this far, the small few of you, I really appreciate it. Happy to sit and just hang out with you guys. Wow, 231 people watching at once. That's really cool. All right. I am very happy that you guys stayed to hang out with me. This is wow, like almost 4 hours of streaming total. But yeah, really appreciate you guys. Can't say it enough. Are you no longer planning on making any more JoJo's Perspective videos? No, I am still planning on that. It just they're massive. They've been massively delayed multiple times. But yeah, stuff is coming. Don't worry. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate you just sitting with me. Definitely want to do art streams, or maybe just a stream where I show you guys how I edit videos for like a bit. I think that would be fun too. Let me know. And if you haven't already, check out the Salty's video dump. It's got all the VODs on it. If you like the vibes of this one, there's similar ones on there. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Good night, guys. Have a good one.